And the finished product, it's all done. I have this spring here and it's mounted like that. And now I have my top plate that I made at home for probably for free if you have a piece of plate laying around, or maybe $5 from hardware store. And it works great. So I can have two redundancies. I have a spring back here, and I also have a spring here to return the throttle from open all the way open to idle. And that is how you make your own top plate for a Preditor 212, 301, 420, any type of engine clone. All right, here are the dimensions for the top plate. I'll take a picture of this and put it in a link below. Okay, so once you have fabricated your top plate, you can paint it. If you don't want to, that's fine, it'll rust if you don't. So what we're gonna do is this hole right here that you drilled is gonna be concentric with where the original linkage arm was. So it'll sit right about there. So that's what you want. You want it to sit right about there. So we're just gonna put our top plate on, and we're going to start to take our hardware, and you're gonna take one bolt, put this bolt into there. This bolt, you're actually gonna thread it so it's sticking up, and you have a nut right here. And then this bolt I took out of the gas tank where the gas tank is connected, and this bolt is gonna go down here, and you have this little mechanism right here, this little flanged type washer thing, and that flanged washer is gonna stick out to the end. You're also gonna need your throttle cable. So you can get these Gopowersports. I like theirs, they're good quality. You need a throttle cable. And the other things we discussed, you need your spring, you need your cable stopper mechanism thing, and then you do need and you'll be able to actually drill your holes and know where they're supposed to go. So I'm going to start assembling this, and once it's assembled, I'll show you the finished product. Have the top plate on. This bolt is tight. This bolt is tight, and it's not exactly over and concentric with the original linkage for the governor arm, but that's okay. And then this bolt is slightly loose, and what we're gonna do is just slip our throttle cable through this. This is gonna hold our throttle cable. All right, now that we have that tightened enough that it's not gonna come on and off this way, it still rotates, you still want it to rotate. Now we're gonna take this small hole that we drilled and connect the spring from there to here. And then we have our secondary spring back here, and what you do is just take it and you put it inside of the throttle linkage right here, and then I just disconnect in the back. I just take one of the this bottom bolt right here for the header cover, and I take the spring, stretch it out, and then I put it right behind there, and then tighten that. So I have two springs just in case one of my springs fails, and I'm not in a position where it's stuck in full open throttle, and that can be dangerous. So you're gonna take your throttle cable and you're gonna feed it. I like to go underneath. Feed it underneath through this hole right here. And then you're gonna take your stopper right here, and you're gonna put it over your throttle cable, and you're just gonna tighten it up a little bit until, because we're gonna make adjustments here, moving this back and forth. The linkage arm from your actual throttle is gonna go down through here, and it's gonna go into this. So now my linkage arm is set up. I'm gonna put my throttle cable up under this hole. I've now secured this with a screwdriver and a 10mm socket. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull my throttle cable back and forth until it's at idle, and there's a little bit of play here. So I want a little bit of play on my throttle cable. I like mine a little sloppy. And then I'm going to tighten down this bolt and make sure I don't crush the outer part of the throttle cable. So I'm going to tighten that bolt next. So I hope this video helped you, and Gopowersports.com usually has all these top plates in stock, but right now they're sold out. So they're very easy to make, and anytime you remove your governor from any of these engines, you should typically get a billet flywheel and also a billet aluminum rod, just to make sure that, because you're going to redline the engine at these higher RPMs,